I knew exactly what was wrong with me. I had a tick bite on August the 21st of last year. I had it in my scalp, and I found it in the shower. And because it was in my scalp and my hair, I couldn't tell if I had the bullseye rash. I knew I had a bite. It was either a spider or a tick. And I immediately got really sick, like flu-like. Fever spiked up, just the worst flu like I've ever had. Went to my doctor and basically had to beg him. He put me on six days of doxycycline, which is not enough. And I basically had to beg him to do the blood work to test for Lyme, and he did not want to do it. He did it, he sent it off, it came back, and I was positive for one Lyme-specific antigen. And he explained to me that does not make a diagnosis, you need two. And I said, well, if I have one, it's obviously a tick, or something that has Lyme, and, that's a sign to me. He would not even discuss it with me. You absolutely do not have Lyme disease, we're not going to talk about it. And this is a doctor that I've gone to for many years. I had 2 weeks of this terrible flu. 6 weeks later, I'm on my honeymoon in Costa Rica, and I got it again. I took the only antibiotics that I had with me, which are some kidney antibiotics. Tried to get through it, flew home. I had it for a good 2 weeks again. Went back to the doctor. It's not Lyme. Okay. 6 weeks later in November, same thing happened. Extreme flu-like symptoms for at least a week. And I knew in my heart that this was all caused by this tick. I went back to the doctor for the third time, and I begged him, please redo the blood work. I know that something is wrong. This has all started since this tick bite. Absolutely not. Started researching online, and I found out that many doctors do not believe in Lyme disease, so I started doing my own research. In December, 6 weeks later, again, I got the flu-like symptoms for the fourth time. I went back. They gave me a fourth different type of antibiotic. And thankfully, since December, I haven't had those symptoms. But after that is when the neurological symptoms set in, the brain fog. I would get very confused. There were some days that I could read the same thing over and over again, and I had no idea what it said. I knew what each individual word was, but I couldn't put them together to comprehend what it was telling me. There have been days when I've been sitting in my car trying to turn right, and when I turned, my blinker didn't go off, and when I looked down, I had my left blinker on. I could switch up left and right all the time. I would take my wedding bands off, during the day to wash dishes or work in the yard, and sometimes I would look down and they would be on the wrong hand. Just completely confusing left and right. Just so many neurological problems. And then there were days that I physically could not get out of my bed. I just could not get up. And my husband didn't understand, work didn't understand, but I just couldn't. There was no energy there. And I was meanwhile doing my own research and just trying to find somebody that could diagnose and treat this. And finally, through my own struggle, I found an infectious disease doctor in North Wilmington that agreed to take me without a referral because my doctor refused to refer me because he said Lyme didn't exist and I didn't have it. So I found an infectious disease doctor that agreed to take me. It was 3 months before I could see her. In March, she finally did another blood test that tested positive for Babesia, which is a Lyme co-infection. And she said, okay, you have Babesia, but you don't have Lyme. I said, well, how can you have Babesia and not have Lyme? It's a co-infection. She said, I'll treat you with 10 days of antibiotics. The FDA has approved 2 different treatments. One is antibiotics, and the other is an alternative medication. The antibiotics I'm allergic to. The alternative medication I can't take because I have a heart condition. So I have no other options but this, but I'm glad for that because the research that I've done says that this is what gives the best results, and that's kind of how I got here.
Do you feel the difference?
This is my first treatment.
Oh, this is your
It has taken me from August when I got the tick bite and started to get sick. I have been searching and struggling to find a doctor that would help me. The infectious disease doctor's option was, well, we'll send you to an allergist and maybe they can give you something to counteract 10 days of antibiotics. But I knew from my own research that 10 days of antibiotics was not going to work. So I was kind of wasting my time. And then through the Lyme group, I found Jilly on Facebook, and she had said in a post that she had a Lyme literate doctor in Georgetown, Delaware. I had no idea. So I started. I live in Townsend. It's an hour's drive.
Oh, just, okay.
So I started researching Dr. Childers. I got an appointment. I came in, and he spent a good hour and a half explaining to me what he could do. And no matter what the cost was going to be for me, I knew insurance wasn't going to pay for it. I was going to come up with the money, and that was 3 weeks ago. And I've come up with the money, and so I'm here for my first treatment.
How much does it cost?
This treatment that I'm going through is $9,700 cash.
Yeah. So you had to find that money,
That's
cash
right.
money, but you knew that it was important enough to you
Yes,
to get the relief.
Yes, and he confirmed when I came and brought him all the lab work that I've had done through for the last 9 months through other doctors and different things. He knew immediately, yes, you have Lyme, and he based that on a clinical diagnosis of my symptoms, the fact that I have babesia, and I have other blood work where my white blood count had gone up, my platelets were off, my thyroid is now attacking my thyroid, my numbers are off, my kidneys, I have all these different things going on. And based on that, yes, I do have it. So
You're going to have to follow up with me and let me know how you're feeling.
I would love to.
Right.
I'm so thankful that he's here and that this treatment is only an hour away. That I could find somebody, because like Jilly said on the Facebook site for women with Lyme disease, there are so many people that don't have anybody in their area, and that's a desperate feeling, because I have migraines. I've had them for 30 years. My migraines went from 8 to 10 a month to 18. And you just can't function. I mean, there's just a month that you lose when you have 18 migraines, not just from the migraines, but the medication and the fatigue, and Lyme has caused that. It's caused the migraines to double. It's amazing to me. I had no awareness of Lyme whatsoever until I actually had to physically start researching it and find out all this information, that the blood tests are only 50% accurate. It's almost a waste of time and money to even have it. And these doctors that don't believe in it, you go to them, you don't know what. I had no idea that my doctor didn't believe in Lyme disease until I got it. And I assure you, I've switched doctors because I have very little faith in a man who can't see that. I mean, it was so obvious. In the 9 months since I've had this and done all this research, I've really changed from, I would say, from Western medicine over to more Eastern medicine. I've bought essential oils. I've bought a Himalayan pink salt lamp. I was just telling these ladies that through the Lyme group online, somebody told me a month ago, I have extreme insomnia. I do not sleep 24/7. I'm awake around the clock, which is a symptom. I can take 2 sleeping pills a week per my neurologist. So 2 nights a week, I get sleep. A month ago, someone posted on this group, try putting magnesium oil on the bottom of your feet. I thought it was insane. I wasn't going to try that until I got desperate. I went to the vitamin shop, I bought the magnesium oil, sprayed it on my feet. My husband looked at me like I had lost my mind, and I slept. And I did that on Friday, and I've slept every night since Friday. And after being up around the clock for 3 weeks straight, that's amazing to me.
How supportive is your family through all of this? Has it been hard?
There are some family members that are extremely supportive and have helped me finance this. There are others that think it's all in my head. And if the doctors don't believe it and it doesn't show up on a blood test, then it doesn't exist. If your insurance won't pay for this treatment, then it probably isn't what you need. But you really, I can't say that if I didn't have Lyme and I hadn't gone through all this that I wouldn't believe the same thing. But when you research it and you talk to people, like in this Facebook group that we're in, you talk to these women every single day and you see the struggle that they're going through and the symptoms that they have, and you see yourself in that, then you know it's real.